communities in the entire state of Texas. We can read. There's PhDs, there's doctor this, doctor that everywhere in this audience. We don't need that. That takes up too much time. A lot of people here get to bed by 9 o'clock, and I'm one of them. So I think that's an inefficiency that needs to be addressed, and it's unfair. We didn't elect you to be unfair to us. The last thing is the executive session. Most counties, most cities put executive session at the very end. Why? Because we can't participate and listen, and there's good reason for that. But there is no way that it needs to be up front. So take your roles to us seriously. Take your roles seriously. Vote to put those at the end tonight and show us your leadership. Vote to move all the important items up. I want to see somebody up here take leadership and demonstrate that leadership to us, because we deserve it, because we elected you. So that's it. And with that, I hope that we do not have a 4-hour meeting. One more thing, I apologize. Legal counsel, you're incredibly important to us. We cannot operate without you when it comes to city government. I know that you see these agendas, because legal counsel everywhere sees them. And you've been participating in these 4-hour meetings. Your job is to give advice to these leaders. I want to see you doing it. I don't want to have these meetings anymore. Because if you're getting paid by the hour and you relish these 4-hour meetings, that is unethical. So you are all responsible for this. I want you all to cooperate, to participate, and to enjoy the pride that we have. And let us be more efficient. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ron Leverett.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and Council. First of all, let me say that I had seemed like we were about to almost saying the same thing. And I need to say that some of the same thing. It's obvious that some of the same thing we are saying it touches a lot of us. A lot of us don't get up to say some of the things that we hear and you've heard. And I think that most of us that come and spend the time to with the city council, I think that is for a good reason. I think the people that come are concerned. I heard a lot of good things said tonight. I heard a lot of good things, things that were said, and I think that the people who expressed them sincerely, based on some experiences they had, some things that they see that need to take place. Let me start off by talking about, I'm gonna pick up on where I left off on last meeting. And I was talking about, I mentioned gifts, basically what it was. You talked about gifts, we were talking about the police department, receiving a gift from somebody giving a dog, a drug dog. And I noticed that you put, again, you go into all of the paperwork to talk about the gift and the process. But I'm gonna ask the same question again. When an entity, a private citizen, or anybody gives a public entity like the city a gift, somewhere there should be a note of record. I talked about the parking, the asphalt. I haven't gotten an answer for that yet. If whoever gave it, and nobody said that the city paid for the parking lot being paid. If the city paid for the parking lot to be paved all the way through, all the way back to the behind the gated area, well, actually the public is really not accessible to the locked gate. So actually the public is paying for something if that's a fact. I think that somewhere, if it was a gift, it should be noted that the gift was given by somebody, and I would like to see who gave the parking lot, or who gave the material, or who provided for the asphalt to be paved in the city. And I think it's a matter of public record. And I think that it won't take long to find that out. That question has not been given yet. The other thing is, I brought a videotape, and I gave it to the council. And oftentimes we talk, and it's one thing when you see a video, and on more than one occasion, the video speaks for itself. the gift, I call it gift of service. You know, in other words, you're giving, or someone is stealing, or even you allowing it. If the city does not have accountability for someone stealing water from a water meter, and I have to pay for it, all the citizens have to pay for it. But if we cannot have a way to monitor, and on more than one occasion, if we have a compliance officer, somebody should know that somebody is taking water from the city of Prairie. And I do know that if a water truck has so much water in the water truck that they have to get an 18-wheeler a truck to pull it out because it's stuck, that means that truck is full of water. And I think that on more than one occasion, if you look at the sites that the water has been given, the video shows the water truck going into a private property, which is the housing area that's being built behind the elementary school. I provided that video to her. I would like to know what is going to happen legally. What happens? What happens if you find out that that company took water without being metered? And how do you plan to find out how much and how long that has been going on? What about Panther Hill? Even down when they did the same thing down here, they got stuck. I don't know if it's the same company, but obviously somebody, if we have a compliance officer, somebody knew that that water was being taken from the city of Prairie without being monitored. So I'm asking when and what's the process and what are we going to do about it? Lastly, I want to talk about accountability. It's not, to me, it's not that hard to be accountable. I mean, everybody, all of us are accountable. We are accountable for paying our bills, because if we don't pay them, guess what? They cut your water off, right? So then all of you all have to be in some way accountable to us. I mentioned I heard the question about the city attorney. I think the city attorney has to be accountable, not only to you, but to make sure that the laws are followed, and that you follow the law, and making sure that the law is followed in such a way that we are treated fairly. So I would like to see, and the meeting agenda, again, I have that on my list again. The meeting agenda is too long. I mean, we had a very good presentation tonight. That's a workshop, Mr. Mayor. If you look at the number, I hope tonight that all of the items that you have, that you'll discuss all these items tonight. I mean, if you discuss all, this is going to be the majority of the meeting. And so if we're going to do that, I think it's a time for you. I mean, if you're going to discuss all of this, we're glad that you're participating in this, but this is a newspaper.
Okay, did you need some more time, Mr. Evans?
No, thank you.
Carrie Gurley?
I'm sorry, I signed up and I'm not a citizen of Waller, so I'm not eligible to speak.
Well, I don't know
I
that
mean, a
it says
citizen of
that,
Prairie
Counselor.
View. It says a citizen. I'm
I don't
not a
believe the
citizen
actual
of Prairie
ordinance
View.
says that, it's just stated on the agenda.
No, if you have something you want to share, please, or you just respect
Oh,
everybody who
okay,
comes
I
to our
didn't want to be
meetings.
disrespectful
No. Come
because
on
I
up.
don't live in Prairie View.
It's okay, we have a few people in here who don't live in Prairie View. Come on in.
Okay, I do live in Waller County though. I just wanted to say briefly, my name is Carrie Gorley and I'm the reporter for the Waller Times. I've written several times about the meetings. I just wanted to say that the city has been very helpful to me. The mayor has been very forthcoming with information, and I appreciate that. The citizens have been very friendly and nice, and I appreciate all of that. And of course, they would be that way to anybody. I'm just saying, the one thing that I did want to say, that I believe this is the third time that I have been here to, I mean, not the third time I've been to a meeting. I've been more times than that. But the third time that we've had to wait for a quorum. And not just for me, but for all the citizens here. And it's not the mayor, as far as I know. I haven't been here when he was not here. But I think everybody would appreciate starting the meeting in a timely fashion. And maybe that's rude. I'm not trying to be rude, but I know that everybody was waiting. People get tired. A lot of people want to go to bed by 9. And I cover all the councils. So you can ask me about Waller, Hempstead, Brookshire now. You know, I haven't had a late meeting, a late start to a meeting. I will say that. And I've been to Brookshire, Hempstead, Waller. So I just want to say that it would be nicer for the people. And it's a responsibility, accountability, you know, for everyone. And I'm sure, I hope I didn't upset anybody. But I apologize if I did.
Thank you. Vita Brown?
I want to say a wonderful good evening to everybody here. It's a pleasure to be here today. I had a couple of issues that I want to address. The first one I want to commend. The first issue I want to commend our police force. I've been checking with agencies in and around the area, and they've been doing a tremendous job the last 45 to 60 days. They've solved drive-by shootings, armed robbery, cattle theft, cricket field equipment theft, 600 windows from Panther Hill theft, and there were evidently some students who were being ripped off by a mechanic. Well, over the last 45 to 60 days, our police force has done a tremendous job at solving crime. And like I said, I've touched bases with police agencies around, not just ours, and everybody seems to be excited about the new direction our police force is taking. So I want to commend our police force for what they're doing. Also, second point I want to make, please move item number 23 to earlier up in the agenda, because we have people here who are concerned about that item, but it's so far down on the agenda that by the time you all get to discuss it, it probably might be 10 o'clock. So I'm asking that you would please move that item up into the agenda. And also, when you talk about item number 23, I don't know that there's no action associated with that agenda item, but I'm asking that you would please reconsider appointing a committee of residents to serve on the Charter Review Committee. That has been a practice ever since the inception of the city, the original city charter. It was done by a collection of residents who got together and put their ideas together on what our city should be like and how our city should run. And when we changed our type of city, we also had a collection of residents who came together to give input on how our city should be run. And that's important because we've had a couple of workshops to talk about the city charter amendment, and citizens have come here, residents in the community, taxpayers, and they've given input to the city council on what we would like to see in terms of charter amendments. Not one recommendation from residents in our community over 2 meetings, not one recommendation has been respected and added into the information that the city council is going to consider for charter amendments. So I don't know if you're just having workshops to say we had some workshops, or if you're really interested in giving our residents what we want to see in the city charter. If you're really interested in giving the residents what we want, then I would at least expect you, when we're giving you input, to make a note and in the next meeting review what we said. That would end my comments.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Based on citizen input and understandable concern, and having attended the workshops and what have you. What's the will of council? Chair will entertain a motion on moving item number 23, the charter discussion, up to next in line.
We have an executive session on here that we need to, I'm assuming you put it on there, or it was put on there for a reason. Is there a reason why it's earlier?
Yes, there is, but there's also a reason, as was denoted by our tax-paying residents, to move up the charter commission so that they could go home and get some sleep. But what's the will of council? You want to leave it where it is? Speak up.
I'll move that we move item agenda number 23 to after the executive session.
Second.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded that item number 23 be moved to right after executive session. You've heard the motion, ready for the question.
Question.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, let the record show, motion passed, it was unanimous. And I will say this, as we do retire to executive session, as has been the history of this city, while I sat in the audience for many years, when we have visitor presenters, the presentations tend to be first so that they can come and not necessarily be bogged down in the city business. Same thing when we have attorneys and others that need to speak with us in executive session. That's why the executive session is in the order in which it is. So we hope it won't take long, but it's because we do have visitors, just like visitor presenters, that it tends to be put up, because normally it is, as was noted at the end. Council?
I don't know if we wanted to do this now, I mean, unless we want to move it to next meeting. It's up to you.
So pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.071,
Mr. Mayor,
to seek the advice of it, I've got the floor, to seek the advice of its attorney about pending or contemplated litigation or settlement offer, or on a matter in which the duty of the attorney to the government body under the Texas Disciplinary Rules of Professional Conduct of the State Bar of Texas clearly conflicts with the Texas Open Meetings Act. A, Michael Kelly versus City of Prairie, Texas, a mediation settlement agreement, and B, recent police department terminations. Discuss, consider, and take action on mediation settlement will be after the executive session.
Mr. Mayor, you can't. First of all, there needs to be a motion. There needs to be, so we're saying that, as stated on the agenda, you cannot move an item without us properly carrying that. It was just a presentation. I was gonna cut the presentation in half with your blatant disrespect of the presentation that you said was next. I just want to find out what's next. 'Cause
Councilman, when we got to you, you weren't ready.
I
You were
wasn't.
late to the meeting, as was discussed, and then you weren't ready when it came. Don't blame that on me.
Well, Mr. Mayor,
Once we read into executive session, does it require a motion? Let us know.
It does not require a motion, it
Thank
requires
you.
a statement to go into executive session.
We are now retired to executive session. We should be back shortly, folks.